Welcome back to a new episode. Farming vs the Incapable, episode 4. I'm the Incapable, and this is farming. Let's get into it. After Orange Mango and I took screenshots for the thumbnail of the last video for a few minutes, we finally got to farming. I'd collected 3 boxes of eggs and went to the vehicle store, where I purchased a new combine harvester. After being thoroughly disappointed at the price of eggs, I went back to my farm to try out my brand new combine harvester. After a quick bit of combine harvesting, I went to put it in my trailer. This combine harvester was good because it could carry 100 wheat, rice, or crops, any type of crops, instead of just 50. The only problem was, my trailer could still only carry 50. After not selling the rice and looking at the vehicle store for a little bit, I sold the eggs. They were on quite a good price, 707 coins per box of eggs. I now had a reasonable 4,650 coins. Using the money I had just got from the eggs, I decided to buy a level 2 tractor. This would be good when I eventually had enough money to buy a level 2 trailer. On the way back to my farm, I had a minor mishap with the game. It's a little bit glitchy. And then my tractor defied all laws of physics and righted itself. Then I proceeded to try and attach my trailer, despite it being on its side, and miraculously, it tipped itself over. After a quick drive home and a quick plough, it was time for a quick cultivation. After a quick cultivation, it was time for the rice. After a quick price change, it was time to sell the rice. After I was done with the corn, it was rice time again. This time, I bought a box of rice, 2 boxes of corn, and 1 box of wheat. My idea was that I would have enough money left over to buy a level 2 trailer. But I did my calculations wrong. I was in fact 22 coins short. I'm an idiot. So I went back to my farm, ploughed, cultivated, and planted all my seeds. I did this so that whilst I was selling my eggs, they could grow. And I was selling my eggs so that I would be able to afford a bigger trailer. After getting to Animal Co, I sold the eggs for a fair price of 647 coins. Not the highest, but certainly not the lowest. Now I could afford the trailer, and even have 1,272 coins left over. This was very good. So of course, I tested out my new trailer by harvesting the corn and going to sell it. Except, I did not, because the prices were far too low. So I went back to harvest my wheat. But Orange Mango called me over to his farm to say goodbye to all his level 1 vehicles. I don't know if he was trying to flex that he had all level 2 vehicles and ploughs and cultivators, but he did try to lock me in. But due to my quick reactions, I managed to get out of there. I went to say hello to my chickens to calm down from what had just happened. After ploughing and cultivating my field again, I decided to get my level 1 trailer out to carry the wheat to sell it. This was another benefit of having 2 trailers. I could store some crops in one and sell some in another without having to spend all the money on a silo. And with all that messing about, with the selling and the trainers, and trying to be locked in someone else's garage, the rice had finally grown. So, after putting the rice in the level 1 trailer, because the corn prices were still quite bad, I went to sell it. The rice prices were not on a premium, but they were very high. Quite high. I ended up with a quite good profit of 940 coins. Then, as I was leaving, the corn prices changed, so I decided to sell that as well. So I went over to Farmco to purchase some more crops. This time, I purchased 4 boxes of corn. After a quick plough and a quick cultivate, I headed over to the vehicle store. This time, it was not to buy a vehicle. It was in fact to buy a seeder, because the seeder I had could only do 50 seeds. It could only fit 50 seeds in it. The one I was buying could fit 200, meaning that I could seed all of my 4 fields of 50 seeds each in one go. And when I got back to my farm, being the incapable person I am, I filled up the wrong seeder. I accidentally filled up the wrong seeder, shall I say, because it was there and I clicked V to fill up the seeder, but I filled up the wrong seeder because they were both right next to each other. After planting all my corn, in which it started to rain halfway through planting, and the corn was already grown in the first field, by the time I had planted the rest, I had decided to go over to my chickens, where I found that they had laid 2 boxes of eggs, but I decided not to sell them yet. I in fact went back to my harvester, where I harvested my whole field of corn, filled up my entire trailer, and then sold it all. Over at the shop, I bought 4 more corn, and guess what's next? You guessed it, ploughing, cultivating, and seeding. Now, I was just having an excellent time driving down the road, and when I got to sell the eggs, I thought, you've got to be yoking me, because the price wasn't even on green. But alas, I sold the eggs anyway, because I couldn't be bothered to wait for a very long time, because the prices only change every 5 minutes, and that there could be a chance that the price goes down, and if it goes down, I have to wait another 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then another 5 minutes to make it go up even more. That is a very long time. So I just decided to buy some food for my chickens, because we don't want them to die, do we? After a quick harvest, it was time to sell the corn. After a quick bit of profit, I bought 2 boxes of rice and 2 boxes of corn. When I get back to my farm, you know what time it is. That's right, it was time to plough, cultivate, and seed. And in the blink of an eye, the corn had grown. I'm an idiot, and have accidentally lost half an hour of footage, because me and Orange Mango were recording for about 4 hours, and that takes up quite a lot of storage when translated into footage. So I had to transfer it onto my other hard drive so that I could carry on recording. So I apologise for the loss of recordings, for the loss of the last half an hour, but at least my animal trailer was yellow. I have no idea why, don't ask me. I jumped straight back into harvesting, and with the rice and eggs I now had in my trailer, I decided not to sell the rice at first. I decided to sell the eggs first, mainly because rice was not on a very good price. Eggs were in fact on a reasonable price, so when I sold them, I got a total of £647 coins. So in total, I had 275, which was quite good. I apologise for the previous sentence that I said. I was incredibly wrong. Not 275 coins, in fact 2,745 coins. I just thought I'd leave it in there to show you that I can't speak properly. Rice was now on a very good price, getting me 6,405 coins, bringing my grand total up to 9,150. So I decided to buy 2 boxes of rice and another 2 boxes of rice. After another quick ploughing, cultivating, seeding and waiting session, it was time to harvest the rice. After a quick harvest of the rice, it started to rain. Well, it rained when I was harvesting the rice. It couldn't have done that when the rice was growing, so that I didn't have to wait for so long. Anyway, it was time to plough again. Then it was time to cultivate, and then it was time to sell the rice. This is where I did not buy any more crops. I in fact drove back to my farm for the reason you clicked on this video. The expansion of the chicken farm, the moving away from purely crop farming to purely chicken farming. This could be a big mistake, but what I was doing was speculating to accumulate. I was spending vast amount of money in hopes of vast amount of return. I then went to buy 5 new chickens for the small price of 7,500 coins. Then, after waiting for a very long time, and the prices dropped quite a lot, I sold the eggs. I in fact lost money and lost time with this endeavour. It was not good. Then I purchased some animal food for my chickens, and when I got back to my farm, I released the 5 new arrivals to my chicken farm. And that is in fact time to end. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, maybe like and subscribe. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And that will be all from me. Goodbye.